Hello friends! Today we've come to Hong Kong to show you a very small one-bedroom apartment. 28 square meters, where every centimeter counts. The interesting thing is that Hong Kong is a very expensive city in terms of housing. And this one-bedroom apartment costs $1.5 million. Let's go take a look at it now. Despite the fact that the apartment is very small, every centimeter of space is used. We have a living area, which is combined with a dining area. We have a full kitchen, by the way, quite large. There's a small bedroom similar to a cabin on a cruise liner and a separate bathroom with a shower. I rented this apartment. It was a bit different. There was no table here, no decoration. I bought all of this and transformed the space so that I would be comfortable living here. By the way, guys, what do you think I'm doing in Hong Kong? Please write in the comments. And those who want to know what I'm doing in Hong Kong can go to my social network. I explain in detail there what I'm doing here. By the way, Hong Kong is a great alternative to a trip to Europe. It's a great destination for traveling in general. So whoever needs advice about Hong Kong, if you want to know about housing in Hong Kong, how much it costs, in which areas it's better to rent, go to my social network. And either write me some questions or watch reels about Hong Kong. There's a lot of useful information where we show cool places. Let's talk more about the living area. The apartment was actually rented with partial furniture. There was this sofa, there was this chair, and there was this table. We bought the rest, the table, decorations, flowers, to arrange the space. Because the place where I live is very important to me and it fuels me with energy. In Hong Kong, a lot of custom furniture is used. This is justified by the fact that there are very few square meters and you need to use every single one. See this wall, it's made entirely of wood. These are veneered panels. And there we have a storage system. Pay attention to these storage systems. Here is one depth, and where it can be made deeper, the depth is increased. This whole wall smoothly transitions into the bedroom door. In the center is a niche for the TV, behind which all the sockets are hidden. There are two shelves and pull-out drawers, into which you can also put a large number of things. And there is a thing that is very convenient. I recommend you to have it in your own home. When you order custom furniture, you can embed wireless chargers. Put your phone down and it charges. By the way, the same things are very convenient to have near the bedroom, near the bedside table. Also put it down and everything charges. And you don't need any of these wires. What problem do people face in Hong Kong? The climate here is very humid, and here, on the contrary, you do not need humidifiers like we have at home, but dehumidifiers that dry the air. See this flower? When we didn't have a dehumidifier, it constantly collected condensation, and these droplets fell on the table. When water constantly falls on the table, it leaves stains that eventually corrode the surface and the table gets damaged. So we put this mirrored base. Actually, it's just a regular mirror that we just bought and put on the table to protect it from water. These are the problems in Hong Kong. And this is our money tree. By the way, guys, here's another storage system life hack. Come here, take a look. You can store all sorts of junk behind the curtains. Here, for example, a dryer, a dustpan, and everything else. Let's go. I'll show you the balcony. The view from the window in small spaces is very important. When you have a small home, in order for you not to feel cramped, it's better to choose apartments with panoramic glazing and to choose apartments with a beautiful view. Then, when you are indoors, you will constantly admire this view and you will feel that the space outside the window is also part of your premises. Therefore, if you have a choice to buy an apartment a few square meters smaller, but with a beautiful view, always choose with a beautiful view. We've got some seedlings on the balcony here. We're growing our own lettuce. I don't know what my girlfriend is growing there, but something like that. Let's move on. Hong Kong really loves dogs, and there's a public area for dogs here. By the way, you can park your pet here. There's pet parking, and you can sit peacefully on your phone at the bar. Every self-respecting home should have elements of feng shui, because feng shui in Hong Kong means a lot. And here in this house, there's a flow that circulates. This isn't just a pool, it's a feng shui element that brings happiness to the house. Why is housing so expensive in Hong Kong? It's very simple. 75% of Hong Kong consists on green areas. These are green parks, beaches, walking places, green areas where construction is not allowed. You can only build on already built-up places. That's just 25%. Therefore, new houses can only be built on the site of old houses, so there is a shortage of available square meters. Well, that's why Hong Kong is growing upwards, because Hong Kong is the place with the most skyscrapers in the world. The first and second floor is a co-working area. You can sit there and work. There is a meeting room, which can be separated with glass divisions, and you can invite, for instance, your potential clients or your business partners and hold a meeting there. And my favorite public area is the kitchen. You can invite friends, about 15 people, and cook a dish in the company of a full-fledged kitchen while having a party. It's very convenient when you have a small apartment and such a large public area. There is also a barbecue area, also public. You can grill kebabs, grill steaks. This area leads to a cool pool. It's winter in Hong Kong now, and the pool isn't working. But in the summer, it cools people down nicely during the hot season. And of course, a gym and a sauna where you can warm up on cold Hong Kong winter evenings. I'm not kidding, really cold. In Hong Kong, the temperature can drop, on average, to about 11 degrees Celsius. Seems warm. But because of the strong cold winds, people walk around in hats and long jackets. And it really is cold here. Also, guys, there's no heating system here, so it can also be cold in the apartments. I really like this kitchen. I loved Transformers as a child. And this is a Transformer kitchen. You take, you pull out, and you get an additional work surface. In principle, this can be used as a full-fledged desk. The appliances are very compactly built in. Here's an oven. Do you know what feature it has? A steamer feature. You press this button. See, the panel opens. You pull out a container where you can pour water. Next to it is, what do you think this is? Please write in the comments if you haven't figured it out yet. Actually, it's a small wine fridge. I don't drink wine, so look, you see, it's empty for me. But you can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bottles of wine. Here we have a washing machine with a drying function. It's built in. The only very important detail is that the drying should be long to not damage the clothes. The countertops are made of artificial stone, and see, it smoothly transitions to the backsplash. And there's this shelf where you can put glasses or some fruits that will ripe. I also really like that there's a mirror strip here that enlarges the space,
which perfectly reflects the operator. Hello, Mom.
The functionality of this kitchen doesn't end. See, our countertop transitions into the sink. It's very convenient and hygienic. You can sweep everything right in there. Notice there's no sponge or soap. Because look, there guys, they are right here. You can buy this Velcro strip where you can put the sponge. And guys, here's a life hack for you. First of all, buy not a fairy bottle, but buy a nice regular jar where you can pour in the dishwashing liquid. And don't put it here, but put it inside the sink. Firstly, it's very convenient to use the sponge. You press and soap the sponge. Secondly, it's not visible, and so you'll have a clean, minimalist sink. There are a lot of tips on how to remove visual noise and make the space clean. I made a video about my apartment in Moscow. There, by the way, is a really cool idea when there's a shelf hanging on the wall where you can put everything and no sponges will be visible. So go ahead, watch. The video is cool and interesting. Also, there's a wonderful alcove here where you can put an ugly kettle that we inherited from the landlords of this apartment and a coffee machine. You can also put decanters there, put dishes there. Everything is hidden in this alcove and doesn't damage the view. Behind me is the fridge. I won't show it because it's a mess in there. But here is a very convenient storage system. See, it's made at one level. There are no recesses that go here because they're inconvenient to use, but you can put jars and cereals in one row. It looks cool. And here, see, part of the kitchen, it curves. Here we have some groceries. And if you take a look here then, see, there's also a place where you can put some groceries. So this curve is also used. Friends, interior design is not just a pretty picture, it's also about functionality, how you're going to use it. Often, they make a beautiful picture, and then a lot of visual noise appears in the interior. Something is thrown around, shoes are left at the entrance. So that this doesn't happen, we make special niches in our studio and hide visual noise. For example, we make a niche for shoes at the entrance, which is not visible from the living area. Or we make special niches in the bathroom, so it's convenient to use all kinds of jars so they're not visually visible when you enter this bathroom. So friends, if you need not only a beautiful interior, but also a functional interior where there will be no visual noise, no mess, you can contact our studio. I've included a link to the studio in the description, go ahead. The bedroom is my favorite place. Do you know why? Because it reminds me of a cruise ship cabin. Firstly, we have a sliding door here that goes into the wall, like a cassette. Secondly, since the space is very small, the bed is located from wall to wall, and it is right next to the window. And when you lie down near this window, you admire the insanely beautiful view. This, by the way, is that nuance I was talking about, that the space visually expands and the street space is added. Friends, everything is very functional in this bedroom. Please guess where the desk and office chair are located? They are right in this frame, in this picture. Guys, you won't believe it. Pull out the drawer and it turns into a desk. Firstly, there is a countertop here. You can lift it. There's a mirror for the makeup area. You can put all sorts of things here for ladies to apply their makeup. To apply makeup, cover up, change makeup. Well, in short, you get it. And the most interesting thing, where is the chair located? This is not a cupboard, but this is a pull-out stool. And you can sit and work. By the way, it's very convenient to roll around. Besides, this is actually also a pull-out drawer where I keep all sorts of chargers. Very functional, they just thought it through. Every centimeter. Guys, this is not the end. This video is about how to fit the unfeasible into 28 square meters. Firstly, pull-out drawers. Here everything is for small things. Here, for larger things. And there at the very top, there's also additional space. By the way, for functionality, when you're getting dressed, there is this mirror in which you can see the reflection and a beautiful view, by the way. Guys, there are also cabinets at the bottom that pull out and you can put something useful in. But the most interesting thing, how do you think you can use the space that is inside? The bed lifts up, but it doesn't lift in the usual way like this. It lifts like this. There's a special mechanism that helps me lift it. See, I have bags, boxes, and even a synthesizer that I recently started learning to play on. There are two entrances to the bathroom, one from the bedroom and the other from the corridor. Despite the fact that the bathroom is very small, it's also quite functional. And here in the mirror is a storage system. See, there's an outlet and a special hole made to conveniently dry your hair with a hairdryer. There's a hole where the toilet paper is. We also have various remote controls for heaters here. Of course, a pull-out system, which you can also climb into and put something, additional shelves. I really like this sink, which is one monolithic device. And its drain is not visible because here, see, such panels are made of the same material. But the most interesting thing is, of course, in this part. This is a full-fledged cabinet, which, guys, pulls out. And there's a lot of useful junk lying around. And of course, the shower, which also has shelves on the sides. Also, guys, I really like that natural light gets into the bathroom through the sliding door to the bedroom. And let me show you the hallway. Everything is functional in the hallway as well. Well, my dear junk lovers, I'll show you another tip now. Often it happens that in the bathroom, space is not used functionally, so part of this space is given to the hallway to make a built-in closet. And here it turns out the door is pressed on a push mechanism. There's a coat rack where you can hang something, but see, they hang a little low, so I added additional hangers here, attached them with Velcro to hang long items. If you have a lot of shoes, there's a shoe rack. The height of the shelves can be changed. For example, you can remove the bottom shelf and make room for high boots. There's high storage for umbrellas, ladders, or some other junk. And of course, pull-out drawers. Guys, this is some kind of Klondike. See, we don't even use half of the storage systems. So junk lovers, take notes. And by the way, shadow plinths are made on the floor here. This is when part of the wall or panel doesn't reach the floor and a niche is formed. Here is a necessity. See, there's this grate in the bathroom. It's necessary for ventilation to take place because there's a lot of humidity here. And if there's no ventilation, mold appears. Sadly, this is both an advantage and a disadvantage. It protects from mold, but sounds from the bathroom when someone is showering, and not only they will be heard here in this space too.
Friends, I hope you liked this video, and if you like it, write some comment. Because comments are very useful for YouTube algorithms, and they are really necessary for this video to be shown to more people. So if you enjoyed it, like it and write comments. Alright, we gone.